Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a class that requires a couple of blocks. If you have blocks or a book, something that you can have a little bit of pressure on, but it doesn't need to be a yoga block necessarily. And of course, you can always do the practice without it. It's just going to give you a little guidance if you have a block. Come on down onto your mats. Have a seat. My name is Mary, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Up here in the jungle, the lights are out. The power's been off since about 1 a.m. this morning, so we're waiting for it to go back on. But it's actually even nicer when the power is out. There's no phones, there's no television, there's nothing. So it's been a very lovely, quiet morning, not hearing anyone talking on their phones or listening to any kind of podcast or music. So I invite you to turn off all of your technology as well. Make sure you have no distractions, have a seat, and go ahead and just close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, and then slowly let it go. Again, we'll do that one more time. A nice, just big deep breath, just trying to fill up the entire lungs. And then let it go. We're going to start with some box breathing today. So we're going to inhale for 4. We're going to pause for 4. We're going to exhale for 4. And then we're going to pause for 4. So if this type of breathing works for you, it really calms your system down, really makes you aware of what you're breathing, how you're breathing, the time that you're breathing for. But if it, again, is not quite right for the counts for you today, then just take it to your own slow, deep breaths. If you're ready to join me in the counting in our box breath, we're going to start with our inhale. So inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. One more. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Just go back to regular breathing now. And on your next inhale, let's rise our hands all the way up. Maybe we look to the ceiling. Chin comes to chest, hands come down through the center. 3 more times. Big inhale, rise. Exhale down through the center. 2 more. Exhale. Our last one, big inhale. And exhale. Bring those hands all the way up. Stack your head on your shoulders. Open your eyes if they're not already open and just drop your shoulders down. I want you to take your right hand and start moving at the wrist. Just give me some nice big circles with the right hand. Keep the circles going, whichever direction you're doing, and just bring your hand out to the side. So just circle it out right out to the side. And then once you get level with the shoulder, turn the circle around and bring the hand back up. Stop when you get to the top, and then do the other side. So start with the wrist turn on the left, give me some circles, and then once you've got some big circles going, start to add in a drop to shoulder height. And then once you've got to shoulder height, start to switch the direction and come back up. Now let's do this with both hands. So once you get to the top, both hands start to circle, and then take them both out to the side. Nice big circles warming up the wrists, big circles out to shoulder height. Switch the direction and come back up. Now keep the shoulders dropped as you rise your hands up. We'll do this now with breath. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, wind down. Change the hand direction and inhale, rise up. 2 more times. Go ahead and exhale, come down. Switch the hands and inhale, come up. 1 more time. We should be starting to feel some heat in the wrists, in the shoulders, but we're still breathing deeply. Switch the hand rotations. And then bring those hands down through the center and shake them out. So wrists, shoulders should be starting to get a little bit warmer. We're going to flip ourselves now over into a tabletop position. Fingertips spread nice and wide, knees underneath your hips. Go ahead and tuck those toes if it feels right. We are now in our tabletop position to pull the shoulders back and suck the belly up so we have a nice flat tabletop. Press into your thumb and your index finger, and then send your right leg back, and your foot is on the floor. So that way we're not hiking our hip up. As soon as we lift the legs, we're trying to just lift the leg up from using the glutes as opposed to torquing that hip. Okay? So it's not about the height. I just need you to lift up and flex the heel. And then we're just going to pull it into the chest, and we're not moving our back and kicking straight out. So it's not a cat-cow. When we come out, we're not arching the back, and when we come in, we're not arching this way. So it's a flat back, just kicking straight out and pulling it back in. Root down through your fingers, look down between your hands, and back in. 2 more times. Kick with the heel, and then send it back in. Kick with the heel, and send it back in. If you need an option, you kick out and put the toe down. If you're okay to hover and send the energy out of the heel, lift the back hand up and turn the thumb to the sky like you're going to give somebody a handshake. Once you've done that, elbow brushes the rib so it's not under the body. Bring it right underneath and then send it back out. Now check in with the belly. It wants to drop. You want to drop into the shoulder. So push away out of the shoulder girdle, suck up the belly, and then slide your elbow against your ribs and then send it back out. 1 more time. Exhale and inhale. If you're good to go, do both. Knee in and elbow brushes the ribs, and then send it back out. Exhale and inhale. 2 more times. Exhale and inhale. Last one is the exhale. Inhale. Now you can hold here. You can place the hand down and just bend the knee. But if you have your hand floating and you want to reach around and see if you can find your foot, go ahead and do that. Roll your shoulder back, hand and foot. Kick up into the air. Look down at your mat. Nice big stretch here. Now, the front foot, you're going to place the back hand down and take the front foot and sweep it to the top of your mat. If you need some protection for your knee, go ahead and fold the mat. If you're good, walk your hands forward and bring your knee towards your toes. Now, if your heel stays down, you can pass your knee over your toe. You're getting the hip flexor on the back side, but we want to keep that ankle down and just press forward. Get a stretch in the Achilles tendon as well as into your back hip flexor. Now we're going to push back and the ankle stays on the floor, and you're going to reach back with your bum. And here's your option if you have a couple of blocks. If you find it's a little too intense to be that low, place your blocks either in this position or a little bit higher, whatever you need, and flow through it with me. So you're going to exhale to come forward. You're going to inhale, push your butt back. Exhale, coming forward. And inhale, push back. One more time, coming forward. One more time, pushing back. If you're good here, you can come forward and then lift up your hands. Bigger stretch here. And then exhale, put the hands down or float them behind your body. Inhale, rise. And exhale, float. Now again, you can keep those hands on the floor and continue, especially if you're getting a great stretch. If you want even more and your hands are floating up and your back toe is tucked, go ahead and just lift the knee up, drop the knee down, and float through. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Now that back heel, the knee that's lifting up, really press that heel back, and then come down. Place your hands on the floor. Get that knee back in line with the hip, and place your hands down on your mat. Roll the shoulders back, tucking the toes. Pull the belly up so we've got a flat back. Slide the back leg out, toes down. Shoulders away from the ear. And again, notice your abdominal muscles. They're engaged when you lift your back heel up to your hip height. Now that we've done that, we're going to pull the knee in using an isometric contraction through the back and through the front of the body so that the core stays stable. And then kick it back out. 2 more times. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Okay, holding here or toe on the floor. We're going to take the other hand out, thumb up like you're giving someone a handshake, reach forward and kick back. We're going to take the elbow only and brush it against the ribs and then send it back forward. So exhale and inhale, really isolating, just feeling how the shoulder pulls back. And you can feel the shoulder blade manipulating against the ribs on your back. One more time, pull in and send it out. All right, pull the belly in. We're going to do both at the same time. So knee comes underneath and elbow brushes your side, and then send it back, kick and point. 3 more. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, root down through stationary hand, thumb and index finger. Now we're going to reach out and hold. Hand can come down or bend your knee. Reach around and see if you can find your foot. And once you've found the foot, maybe you press foot into hand. Take a look down at your mat. And now's the time to arch that back. All right, we're going to put the front hand down. Take the back knee and sweep it on through. Rolling up the mat if we need protection for the knee. And once we've gotten this one, ankle stays on the mat. Walk yourself forward so that you start to feel stretches in 2 places, possibly 2 places. One will be the Achilles tendon right here, keeping the heel on the floor, pressing the knee forward, and in the hip flexor, where I feel it more. And now that we've figured out this one, walk it back, and just notice the hamstring stretch now. Grabbing your blocks if you need them, depending on what height you need. And there's also the option, I'll show you the option here. I'm really on the highest level of these blocks. And then pushing forward, pushing back. Now remember, you can do this without the blocks if you feel stable, and then pushing forward. My toe is tucked on the front one. That'll allow me to do the lift off when I'm ready. If you want to join me and you have blocks in your hands, you can always just lift up here and then put the blocks down or sweep them through. If you're without blocks, inhale up and then exhale, send it through. Again, we have one more add-on for those who want to go there. When you lift your hands up, see if you can pop that front knee up and come into a lunge. Lower the knee down with control. It's all about control. Don't let that knee drop down hard. Lift up and then come back down. We'll do 2 more. Big inhale, rise up, find the stability. Exhale, come back down. Last one, inhale, rising up. Exhale, back down. Place those hands down. Unhook here and spread those fingertips nice and wide. Knees underneath the hips. Toes are tucked. If you need to give a little tap tap with the toes, go ahead and do that. But we're now going to come into our downward facing dog. So go ahead and send yourself into a downward facing dog. All right, from here, just pedal out those feet. We'd already started to get some work in those feet, in those ankles. So just walk the dog. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And we're going to take both of the heels to the back of the mat. Lengthen that spine. Just let that head hang. Give it a shake no and a yes. Maybe draw some circles. And a couple more deep breaths here. So if we were at all holding our breath during the last portion or the last postures, we're now able to take in those nice deep breaths and expand the lungs, calm the body. All right. So come into just a natural feeling downward facing dog and go ahead and lift the front foot up into the sky. We're going to rotate the ankle. And then we're going to rotate it the other way. And then we're going to pull that knee into the chest, look between your hands, help get that foot to the top of the mat. And then step the other one in. Inhale to a halfway hold. Exhale to a forward fold. One more time, halfway hold. Exhale, forward fold. Come to standing. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Take a step back with that front foot. Take a step back with the back foot. Pedal out the feet. Press into the finger and the thumbs. And once you've done that, regular downward facing dog, the back leg goes up. Rotate the ankle in one direction. Or rotate the ankle in the other direction. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest, step it on through. Step the other one up. Inhale, halfway hold. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, forward fold, come down. Step back with the back foot. Step back with the front foot. Go ahead and drop to your knees. Come to a kneeling plank. Lower yourself down. Elbows brush your ribs as you come down. And now you're lowered onto your mat. Feet flat on the floor. Give your butt a squeeze. And just lift up your chest. Keep those elbows in at your side. Tuck your chin and look down. Press into those hands. Exhale, lower down. My feet are relaxed. We're pressing the toes into the mat. 2 more times. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. One more time, lift up. And exhale, come down. Tuck your toes, push into those hands, lift your chest, and send your bum towards your heels. Stretch it out in our first child's pose. I've got my toes tucked, which means I'm getting the stretch for the toes. Plantar surface of the foot. If you want to release those feet down flat, go ahead. And let's go ahead and make our way into downward facing dog again. All right. Now we've seen some of the patterns. Let's put some of these things together with a few warriors. This time I'm going to ask you to lift your back leg up into the air. You go ahead and pull that knee into the chest and step it through. Drop your front heel down on the diagonal and rise up, warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Go ahead and lean forward and then drop your elbow onto your thigh and reach for the sky. We're going to reverse our warrior, so go ahead and reverse so that the hands have switched. We're going to float this a few times. Elbow can find the thigh in the front, or you might want to slide your hand down your leg, and then you reverse it back. We'll do it one more time. If you have a block, you can use the block. And then reverse it back. Windmill down to the top of the mat. Take a giant step back. Drop to your knees or come to a plank. Anytime you need to drop those knees down or lower yourself down onto your mat. Feet flat on the floor. Inhale. Maybe come up a little bit higher. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Make sure your hand grip is good. And we're going to go and flow from the other leg. Let's go ahead and lift the front foot into the sky. Pull the knee into the chest and step it on through. Drop your back heel diagonal. And then inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale it out to warrior two. Lean forward. Elbow finds the thigh. And reach up to the sky. Let's reverse this one all the way back. And we flow 2 more times. You can reach down to the floor or with a block. And then reverse it all the way back. 1 more time. Down to the floor. Reverse it all the way back. Windmill down to the top of the mat. Take a giant step back. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise if you want an up dog. See if you can lift those knees off the mat. And then exhale, push it back. Go ahead and drop to the knees outside the hips. Push the butts back and down. All right, a couple of deep breaths here. Grab some water if you need to. We're nice and warm. If you happen to have a block or something that you're using, you can even use something soft, even something like a bandana, sock, whatever you have around. A slipper, it's just to give you something in your hand to know where your hand placement is. And just put it at the top of your mat. All right. Let's go ahead and come into our downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet. And let's go through the series again. Lift your back foot into the sky. Pull the knee into the chest and step it on through. Drop your front heel diagonal. Pick up the object in front of you. Place it in your back hand and lift it up into the sky. And then exhale, turn it to warrior one. Reaching all the way forward, then taking the object in your hand and sending it to the sky. Go ahead and bring the object down. Now, if you have a block like me, it's going to touch the floor. Then you're going to sweep it back up. 1 more time, take it down to the floor and sweep it back up. Come into warrior one, so go ahead and grab the object, sink in, and then lean forward, a hinge from the hip. What I want you to do is take the object and bring it underneath the leg and bring it back to the top. Put it in the front hand, bring it underneath the leg, and bring it back to the top. 1 more time. Underneath, to the front, underneath, and to the front. Lift it all the way up. Go ahead and place it back down. Take a step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Let's take our first chair pose. Sink your butt back. Options, options, options. Hands on your thighs to give you a little support. Hands to heart center if having the hands above the head doesn't work for you. Or if you want to stretch those hands up to the sky, most intense pose. Exhale, forward fold. Take a step back with one. Take a step back with the other. Optional chaturangas, knees or toes, coming forward, lowering down. You might hold your plank, lifting up to an up dog, and pushing back into downward facing dog. Paddle feet, give a little shake. And then we're going to do everything with the other leg. Front foot lifted up. Pull the knee in, send it through. Drop your heel on the diagonal. Pick your object up. Place it in the front hand mostly. And you've got it into warrior one. Switch it into your warrior two. Let's take the object to the sky. And then elbow to the thigh or to the floor. Inhale, big reversal, sink in nice and deep. Try and keep those legs stationary as you just tip side to side. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, dive. Inhale into warrior one, both hands on. So we sink deep And then we hinge from the hip. We take an object in the front hand, circle it underneath, bring it up, take it the other way, and bring it up. Good. Sink a little deeper if you can. Front hand to back hand, and then back hand to front hand. Go ahead and inhale all the way up, warrior one. Exhale, put the object down. Hands on the floor, step up. Inhale to our halfway hold. Exhale to our forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. A chair pose of your choice. Sink down. Now that we're here, we're going to allow ourselves to lift the front heel. Put the heel down, lift the back heel. And down. One more time, front heel. And back heel. This time both heels. Coming up. Holding here. Very intense pose. Pull the shoulders away from your ears if your hands are above your head. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down. Stand up. Ooh, give it a little shake, shake. Grab some water. Towel off the face if you need to. It's definitely humid here in Costa Rica. And roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Give a little shimmy of those hips. Inhale those hands all the way up. And exhale to the heart center. One more time. Big inhale, rise up. And exhale, forward fold down. Take a step back with one. Take a step back with the other. Do a chaturanga if you need to, or just walk your dog, your choice. And then I'll meet you knees on the floor. Flip yourself around and go ahead and grab your block, whatever you're using, and put it out in front of you. Now you sit on your mat however it makes sense to you, but I want you to see what we're doing here. So the block is on the floor, and your feet are out in a V-sit. If you need a little bit more, scoot your bum forward. Knees can stay soft bend. And once we've got that, reach those hands behind you. We're just going to do a little stretch of the chest. Lift your chest up, point your toes. And then curve the spine, look down, and relax the feet. Point the toes, lift the chest, look up. And then exhale, point the toes to the sky. One more time, lifting up. And exhale, relax. All right. If you're good and you want to point those toes, you've got your hands pressed in and you've opened up your chest and the shoulders feel fine. We're going to see if we can lift our bum up and then lower back down, curl in and point the toes to the sky. Point the toes out, roll the shoulders back, lift the butt up and see if the toes want to touch the mat and then lower back down. We'll do this 2 more times. So roll the shoulders away, look up, lift the butt, point the toes to the floor, roll back out. One more time, lifting up and then placing back down. All right, walk yourself up so that you're seated now. You've got the block in front of you and just place your hands on it. Flex your heels and lean forward. So a little bit more into these hamstrings again. Now I'm super flexible. I have a lot of range of motion here. So I do not need the block, but you're going to use the block again. But if you're flexible like myself and you want to come all the way down, you can do that. And if you want to hold onto the feet and just lean forward, you can do that as well. Just notice how much stretch you have in the backs of your legs. A couple of nice deep breaths here, just feeling that stretch. And then walk yourself back up and find that object again. So it has to be an object like a block or something that's sturdy enough that you can put a heel on it. So it's in between your ankles, and that should give you the right space to be able to take those hands behind you, lean back a little bit, point the toes to the ceiling, and flex at the heel. Go ahead and take the right foot, lift it up, and place it on the block. Lift it up as high as you can, and then place the heel on the floor. Activation of the quad, inner thighs, up and adduct and abduct. One more time. On, tap the block, and then place it on the floor. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So lift the leg up, go ahead and tap, lift it up as high as you can, and tap. Now notice how much you're doing with the leg and how much your core is working right now. Now, if you're leaning back, this is stabilizing, so you don't have to work the core as much. And place it back down. If you want to give it a shot, come on up to seated. Inhale your hands all the way up, and then exhale them to heart center. Now that we've got heart center, got a little bug flying in front of me, and we've got our hands to heart center. We're going to continue to flex your heels. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do the same thing. Now, if you need to, take those hands out and touch the floor to lean back. You can. That's your safety mechanism. But if you're ready to try and lift up that right foot, lift it up, place it on the block, out and down, up, over, up, down. One more time. You should be noticing the difference now. Getting into these hips, these cores, and definitely these quads. All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to internally rotate the toe. Okay, so the toe has to face inside towards the block. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're not curving the spine. All right, if we have to, let's open up the chest because we do this all day in this forward fold. So if you need to, I'd rather you have your hands behind your back than compensate by rolling forward. So hands on a prayer pose, shoulders back, and put tension in those hands. Turn your foot inward, and then we're going to lift it up, keep the toe inward, and then place it on your block, coming out and down. Sit up tall, across, and out. Two more times, down and down. Last time, down and down. All right, externally rotate. So now femur in the hip socket has turned outwards, sitting up nice and tall. And again, I'd rather you put your hands down than roll those shoulders forward. So keep the chest up and the pressure on those palms. Lift up and bring your heel to tap with the toe out and then to the side. Inhale, exhale. Two more. One more time. All right, give it a little shake here. All right, a little adjustment for the hips. Both toes are flexed, shoulders back and down, hands on the floor if you need to. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So, toes pointed to the sky, pressures in the palms, lift the leg up, and then bring it to the block, and then out to the side. Okay, so this is straight up. The femur is in the hip socket without any rotation at all. We're just lifting up using the quad and then taking out to the side. Internally rotate those femur, and you should feel a little bit more of the musculature working to hold that toe turned in. Now we're going to lift up the leg and it's going to engage muscles on the outside here. So lift up and you should feel connection more into the glute. Tap it down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. I'm leaning back a little, so I'm trying to sit up nice and tall. Two more times. Tap. And then relax. One more time. Tap. And then out. Turn the toe into the external rotation. You're going to feel it more on the inside of the leg now, not quite on the top, not on the outside with the glute. Now it's going to be inside. Sit up nice and tall, pressure in the palms, lift up the heel, go ahead and tap, and then bring it back. Go ahead and tap, and bring it back. Two more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. All right, give these feet a little shake. We're going to put our hands behind our backs. And we're going to just walk these feet in so that they're still nice and wide. Just drop them over to the left side. Look over to the right. And then the other way. So still internally and externally rotating. But this time, not using the quads. We're just doing a twist side to side. And then once we've centered up, stretching out those legs again. All right. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Settle in to your pelvis. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Take those hands behind you. Open up the chest, lean back. Okay. So we've got our toes just turned to the ceiling. And we're going to lift them both up and put them on the block. So go ahead and try. Lift up your legs. Put them both on the block. Lift them up. uh, Lift them up and put them off to the side. All right, so walk your hands back a little bit more if you need a little more support. Lifting up, put on, lifting up, take off. Two more. Up, exhale, inhale, exhale to use the energy. So inhale, exhale on, inhale, exhale off. All right, we're going to turn the toes in. Now the toes are not going to be, the heels are not going to be able to fit on your block. Okay, so what I want you to do is tap the toes together. Okay, so lift the chest, turn the toes in, and you're going to try and get your big toes to touch one another over top of your block. Okay, so go ahead and squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze those quads, turn the toes in, and let's see if your toes can touch. They might not even touch, they might go flying all over the place. It's okay. It's about the attempt, not the execution. All right, let's go ahead and tap and back 3 times. Exhale, tap and back. Go ahead, tap and back. Last one, tap and back. You know what you're going to do. You're going to click your heels now. Heels can touch the block, okay? But if you're fine just to keep them up in the sky, you're just going to click the heels and then send them back out. So let's try the first one. Open up the chest. Take a look at those heels. We have an area where we're going to aim those heels. So let's look in that space now. Click and out. Click and out. Two more. Click and out. Click and out. All right. Let's turn those toes up. One more round. If you've had enough, take a break. If you want to keep those hands down, please do. We've got the block here. We've got our hands inhaling up and then exhaling to heart center. Rolling the shoulders back. There will be a little bit of a lean, but what I want you to try and do is keep yourself seated upright as much as you can and not roll into an arched back. Okay? So lift yourself up. Know that you can always sweep those hands out quickly to lean back. But if we're good to go, flex straight up to the sky with those toes, and let's try and get those feet on the block. So lift and tap, and out and tap. Lift and tap, and out and tap. Two more, lift and tap, out and tap. One more time, lift and lower. Turn the toes in. Not even going to give you a break. Let's give it a shot. Tap the toes together. Tap and down. Tap and down. Two more. Tap and down. Tap and down. Turn out, click the heels. Tap and down. Tap and down. Two more. Tap, tap, and relax. Move the block out of the way. Go ahead and pull one knee in, followed by the other. To get onto your mat, go ahead and roll yourself down. And reach your hands above your head. Nice deep breath here. And exhale. One more time, big inhale. And exhale. Cross your back ankle over your thigh in the front. Take your back hand and just place it on your thigh and just give a little bit of pressure. And if it feels right, take your top hand and reach it underneath your leg. Send the other hand through and pull that front knee into your chest. Option is to go ahead and hold onto your shin, so going a little higher. And if you want a little bit more, you can grab onto the top of the knee with your hands over and pull that knee into your chest to give it even more of a hip opener on that back hip. Let's release down and unhook. Reach your hands up over your head. Take a nice deep breath in. arch your back if you'd like. And then exhale, press your lower back in. One more time, arching the back up with a big inhale. And then exhale, press the back into the mat. Go ahead and cross your front ankle over your thigh. Take your front hand and place it on your leg. And then just help open up that hip a bit. Back hand sweeps under the leg. And the front hand goes in between. And you can hold on to your quad to pull your back knee in towards your chest. Option hands on your shins. That goes to the front of the leg, the top of the leg. And your third option is to go ahead and put both hands on the knee as you unwind, and then you can pull even closer to your body. And we're going to slowly release out of that. Taking the unhook and taking the hands out to the side. Roll towards the front. And make your way back into a tabletop position. One more flow to do. Object in front of your mat, if you have a block. Tabletop. Let's go ahead and do a couple of cat-cows. My toes are tucked. And we're going to get into these forearms by sweeping the fingertips in towards your knees. Don't worry if they need to be out on an angle. Just sweep the fingertips in towards your knees. Tucking the toes, arching the back, gazing up at your navel. And then exhale, dropping the belly, looking to the sky. Now we're doing these arches of the back. So press into the fingers and the toes as you arch up. And then as you drop down, drop in between the shoulders, tip the tailbone, and look to the sky. One more time, big inhale. And exhale. All right, release those hands back to the original position. Toes happen to be tucked for me, so I'm already in a position to get into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, and let's go for our very final flow. Let's take the back foot up into the sky. Let's pull the knee into the chest and place that foot down. Drop your front heel diagonal. Grab your object. Inhale it up. It's mostly in that front hand. And then exhale to warrior two. Go ahead and lean it forward and reverse. One more time. Either tapping the floor and bringing it back or elbow to your thigh. One more time. Tap and reverse. Go ahead and sweep into warrior one. Sink into those legs and dive forward. Now you can stay with the object going in underneath your legs, or let's use a little bit more and bring it behind our back. So take the object into the front hand and bring it behind your back, and then bring it forward, and then switch the other way, and bring it forward. One more time. Let's lift that front heel off so we're just on the tippy toes of that back foot, and then sweep it around. Now hold the object in front of you. And if you can take off into warrior three, go ahead and lift off. Now this object is going to go behind your knee. So take it into the front hand, pass it behind your leg, tap down if you need to, and then bring it up. We're just testing our balance with something in our hand, and then take it in the back hand, pass it behind your knee, and then bring it out in front. One more time. Go ahead and dive in. Send the object to the front, around, and to the front. Now take it to the sky, step on up. Go ahead and place that block underneath your right foot or front foot. Once you've got your heel on the block, the toes can hang off. We're going to come up into a chair pose. That's uneven, and then sink back down. One more time, big inhale, chair, and sink back down. Last time, come all the way up. Back heel, see if you can lift it and sink on in. If we're good here, we're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to twist our back elbow to our front knee. Come back to the center. Back elbow or front elbow to the back knee. One more time. Twist and up and twist and center. Release the hands down, release the heel down, kick the block away. Inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, come down. Put the object back to the top of the mat. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Option to do a chaturanga, or you can just pedal the dog. Inhale, come forward. Knees or toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, push it back. Front foot into the sky. Pull the knee into the chest. Step it on through. Heel drops diagonally. Grab the object, mostly in that front hand. Come all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Reaching for the sky. And then down for your thigh or the floor. Two more times. Inhale, reach. With that object in your hand, you're really aware of how high your hand goes. So really go ahead and bring it all the way up. And then exhale, come on down. Go ahead and bring the object up. Sweep your hands up so you're in warrior one. Sink into your legs and dive forward. So again, option is just to go underneath the leg. If you want to stretch out the shoulders a little bit more, put the object in your back hand, sweep it behind your back, and bring it to the front. Go ahead the other way. If you would like to lift your back heel, you're just on your toes, ready to make the move. And if you're ready to make the move, hands in front, lift off, and you're into a warrior three. We're going to try and bring the object behind your knee. So tip forward, try and find the balance, and then bring it behind your knee. And then up to the front. Bring it behind your knee. And up to the top. One more time. Now don't worry if you can't get it behind the knee. You're challenging your balance with movement. And then bring it into both hands. Step on up. And exhale, put the block down underneath your left foot or your back foot. Heel on, heels aligned. Inhale, rise up. Sink into your chair. One more time, sink all the way down as you exhale. Once you're here, go ahead and see if you can rise those hands up above your head and then lift your front heel. We're in a very intense pose on the toes of the front, pressing into the heel on the block. Bring the hands to heart center. We're going to bring the back elbow to the front knee. Twist. Center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Let's go ahead and add on to this one. Bring your back elbow to the front knee. Open up your hands. Bring them back in. Switch to the back knee. Open up your hands. Bigger, deeper twist. Bring the hands together. Center up. Drop the heel down. Remove the block. Inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up. And exhale to heart center. Center yourself in the mat. Our last little balance. And you're putting the weight on the back foot, rolling the shoulders back, and just keeping the knees together. Okay? Knees are together. When the knees are together and you lift your ankle towards your bum, a lot more work for your hamstring. Instead of using the hip to swing that foot out, knees stay together and go ahead and grab onto that ankle. Once you've got that, you should feel a nice quad stretch if the knees are squeezing together. And then take your back hand and lift it up to the sky. This might be intense enough. Now you can see my hand is wrapped where my ankle bends. It gives me a nice angle to hold on to. And then keeping the knee in the same line, not pulling it out towards the front. We're just going to tip forward and come into our dancer's pose. Now heel can stay really close to the body and you tip forward. So I've already done this in Warrior 3, but now we've got our hand on our ankle. And if you want to extend out, press your ankle into your hand and lean forward. Just find your balance. And then let's release it out and let's try it on the other side. Give it a shake. So we've done a lot of work to release the hamstrings. So it might be a little um, easier to get into this pose than if you were to try it without doing all that hamstring work. So what we've got here is our knees together and our back toes just floating out. Roll the shoulders back, nice and tall. Release into almost a strong mountain pose, but we're going to turn this into a dancer's pose. You're going to lift your heel, keeping the knees together. See if you can reach behind you and find your ankle. I know that's tough. If you've been able to find your ankle and you can flex and pull the heel in towards your bum with the knees together, you will feel the quad stretching. To elongate the spine, lifting your other hand to the sky. And then as we keep the heel close to our bum, just tip forward, almost like you're going into Warrior 3, except we have a slightly different element of balance because you've got your hand on your foot. And if you want to go into dancer's pose, kick that back leg into the sky, lean forward, and find your balance. A couple of nice deep breaths here. If your foot is wandering around all over the place, you're doing a great job. It shows me that your foot is trying to learn how to balance your body. And then let's release it out and give it a shake. Keep the feet nice and wide on your mat. Turn the toes out, shoulders back and down, hands on your hips, and just tip over to the right side. Send your hips out to the left. Come on up and do the other side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead, keeping our hands on our hips, soften your knees, and tip forward. You can put your hand on a block or down onto the floor. And we're just going to bend the right knee, and you're dropping your hips down so that you can feel the stretch of the inner thigh here. And then switching it out to the other side. We'll go again one more time to the first side. If you want to lift up your toes, you can. Walk those hands a little bit more over. And then walk back to the center. Walk over to the left and maybe pick up those toes. Again, we can just stay nice and high, so lots of options here. If you want to walk over and bend into that right knee, and your ankle can stay on the floor, you can tip up. You might be able to walk your hands out forward, taking your right hand, sweeping it around behind you, taking your left and bringing it around, finding those hands, and then just hanging it with me here in a bind. Shoulder definitely getting stretched, inner thigh, releasing your hands. Go ahead and press yourself back into the center. Give those hips a little shake, shake. Turning the toes out, make sure they're turned out. Sink onto the left side, lifting up the heel. My heel is down on the left. My toes are pointed up and the heel is down on the right. If you're good, you can walk those hands out, feel how it feels. Left hand, elbow bends around. Right hand, reach around behind. Lift up your chest. Let's go ahead and release ourselves down. I like putting my hand down so one is one way and one was the other way so I can get out of this, but you find the best way to get out for you. Just a couple of shakes. Heel toe those feet together so that you are in a forward fold. And inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, touch the floor, forward fold. And inhale, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae until you're back to standing. Go ahead and come to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise up. And sink on down. Step back one, step back the other. Last chaturanga of the class if you need one. Inhale forward. Exhale, I'm dropping to the knees and lowering down. Inhale just to my baby cobra, tucking the toes, pushing back, and everybody gets to meet in child's pose. Couple of nice deep breaths here. While taking it all the way down. Come back into your tabletop. Knees underneath the hips, feet flat on the floor. Take your back hand, thread it through in line with the shoulders, and drop down. Once you've done that, and if you're comfortable, see if you can take your front hand and lift it up into the sky. We're continuing with our spinal twists, bringing hand behind your back, and then rotate, look to the ceiling. A couple of nice deep breaths here. Release the hand up to the ceiling if it's behind the back. Place it down on the ground by the shoulder. Unwind yourself and thread through the other way. So go ahead and thread on through. Lifting your hand up into the sky. And exhale, placing it behind the back if it feels right to do so. And then pulling that top shoulder back and looking to the ceiling. Couple more deep breaths here. If hand is behind back, lift it to the sky. Place it down by the shoulder. Unwind yourself. Kick those feet out. Make your way into seated. And holding onto the backs of the legs, roll yourself down. Coming into our final postures of the practice today. Hands out like a T. Drop your knees to the front. Look to the back. Inhale onto your spine. And then twist the other way. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Go ahead and bring yourself all the way up to knees bent, heels close to your body. Go ahead and just peel yourself up into a small bridge and then lower your spine back down. Feet can walk out to the side and your knees can touch. Or if you want to come into our full Shavasana, walk those feet in line with the hips, slide your heel out and let the foot fall out to the side. Do the same thing with the foot and let it drop out to the side. Give me a little shake of the head side to side. And then relax. Let's go back to our box breathing, counts of fours, as you just start to let your body be supported fully by the mat. No longer needing any balance, no longer needing to squeeze any muscles. We're just trying to let our face relax, let the lips part, let the muscles relax around the eyes and in between the brows and the forehead. Take one nice deep breath in to fully expand the lungs. Let it go. And if you're ready to box breathe, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slower. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. 2 more cycles. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Last round. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. You can continue with your box breathing. You can just settle into a more normal, natural breath, but staying focused inwardly into how our body feels, how we're breathing, trying to find a little more relaxation on our mat. Just taking our Shavasana here in silence the next 2 minutes. If you need a little longer in Shavasana, please feel free to stay. But if you're going to wiggle those fingers and wiggle those toes, let's move those wrists and those ankles in circles or however it makes sense for you. If your legs are outstretched, let's bend knees to bring the heels in towards the body. And then let's hold on to those knees with our hands as we pull them into our chests. Let's hold on to each individual knee and circle them out and bring them in towards the chest and out. 2 more times. Some nice little circles for those hips. A lot of work for the hips today. And then circle down, around, and out. So we've just changed the circle direction. A couple more. And then put the feet on the floor. Let those hands come out to the side. This time, if you want to even it out, drop the knees to the back. Roll over onto your side. Make your way up to seated. And come in onto our mats. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Take an inhale, rising up. Exhale down through heart center. One more time, inhale all the way up. And then bring those hands down into your lap, head stacked on shoulders. Hope you had a wonderful practice this morning. Hope we released those wrists, got into those ankles, strengthened your hips, and had some fun while we did it. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the channel and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, or night.